Here we go, Jack.
35 laps of racing about to commence here in Buenos Aires. On pole position, it's Sam Bird. Alongside him on the front row is Nico Prost with Antonio Felix da Costa and Stefan Sarazan on row number 2. Conway and Fraintz are on row 3. It's going to be all eyes towards the lights for that run down towards turn 1. It's a hairpin left-hander. Sam Bird on the racing line. Nico Prost in that yellow and blue Edams car on the right-hand side as we look at it is alongside him on the inside line. All 5 lights are on and we go racing in Buenos Aires, and it's a very good start from Prost, but can he get the inside line on the run down towards the first corner? No. Bird comes over, covers it across, bit of a lock-up here and there in the pack. Hopefully everyone will get through. 3 wide further back. Simona de Silvestro lunging up the inside. She makes up some places. Everyone safely through turn 1. The leaves being kicked up. Slow start from Duval. He's lost some places, but it's Sam Bird who manages to hold the lead, and now Robin Fraintz is doing battle with Lucas de Grassi. And we're on board with de Grassi on the run down towards turn 4.
Yeah, Fraintz under pressure from de Grassi right there. Not going to make it around the outside though, but is he setting him up for turn 5?
All Turvey around the outside of Daniel Apton. All out of shape there is Sebastian Buemi. Has he got through that okay? Yep. He has, and it looks as though Stefan Sarazan got a nudge coming down into the hairpin as well.
He's made up 3 places already, Sebastian Buemi.
Well, what a good start that was from Sam Bird. Managed to hold the lead. Bruno Senna, I think, has made up a couple of places as well as they all dart out into turn 7. There's Robin Fraintz up the inside of Mike Conway. Robin Fraintz goes through into 5th place. De Silvestro locks up and almost takes the nose off Sebastian Buemi there. But at the end of lap 1, it's Bird, Prost, da Costa, Sarazan, Fraintz, Conway.
Dragging car at the back here. Look, it's got some contact between the bodywork and the wheel, so he's in trouble already.
That's going to be Loic Duval, I think, who we're going to see smoking past us. Oh, it could be Jerome, actually, as they flash through this wonderful turn 11 and 12 sequence of corners. But it's Bird who's managed to hold the lead as they get on the brakes into the hairpin left-hander. A little look out from Oliver Turvey.
I think that was more protecting his line there from Oliver Turvey. Look, it was Buemi past Simona de Silvestro. Nice clean pass there. That's 4 cars.
That's Buemi up into 14th place. And yeah, real troubles there further back for Jerome D'Ambrosio. He must have had contact out there on the circuit. How long can he keep going out there? That's going to be the interesting thing. Is that going to really wear down on the tyres? There's de Grassi through past Mike Conway into turn 4. So Lucas de Grassi up into 6th place. Conway drops to 7th position in his debut Formula E race. Everyone else now is getting a bit held up behind the next EV TCR cars.
Yeah, Robin Fraintz is Lucas de Grassi's next target here. He's got to catch up to him a little bit. Yeah, the next EV guys, Oliver Turvey ahead of Piquet. So it's very different doing 1 lap quickly than doing the whole thing and the energy saving.
There's Jean-Eric Verne up the inside of Nick Heidfeld, and he manages to get through. So that's 12th place now for Jean-Eric Verne. Still the smoking dragon of Jerome D'Ambrosio cruising around at the back of the pack as they come through to complete lap 2. Bird, Prost, da Costa, still the top 3, all separated by about 3/4 of a second. This is the best shot in the world.
That is the best corner in the whole series. Look at the yaw, they're just sliding through there. Absolutely fantastic.
So it all starts to settle down a little bit now. Nelson Piquet's having to keep an eye behind him because Loic Duval is right there. So that's Duval up into 10th place, having started in 12th place. So a couple of positions made up for the Frenchman. Verne running a little bit wide. When you run wide on the exit of 1, you avoid that bump. So I wonder if some of them are going wide intentionally there. Let's have a look at this quickly with Sebastian Buemi right up behind Nick Heidfeld, and cruises through down into 4th.
Yeah, not even a competition there. Beautiful pass, set him up coming out of turn 2. No, going wide in turn 1 definitely hurts your turn 2 more than missing the bump. Here we go, something to fix in the dragon car here of Jerome D'Ambrosio. No. Come on, guys.
And there we go, away goes D'Ambrosio. They do practice the pit stops, even though you don't really tend to have to make pit stops. Goodness me, lock up there from Nelson Piquet, almost going into the back of Loic Duval in front of him. That could compromise him because he was under pressure from Daniel Abt as they flick through the chicane again to complete lap number 3. It's still, well, the order on the left-hand side. Bird, Prost, da Costa, Sarazan, Fraintz, de Grassi, Conway, Turvey, Duval and Piquet, the top 10 at the moment. The two Mahindras running right together. Big lock-up from Antonio Felix da Costa in 3rd position as he tries to get the car stopped. Here's the dart out from Daniel Abt attacking Nelson Piquet down into turn 1, and Abt goes through, and that is now 10th place for the German driver.
Nice move by Daniel Abt. There was really nothing Nelson Piquet could do. They really look like they're struggling a bit more in the race here than they have been in qualifying with the next EV car.
Fastest lap of the race so far goes the way of Lucas de Grassi. Sebastian Buemi is in 13th place at the moment, up behind Jean-Eric Verne. And in fact, Verne's just gone past PK.
And the points paid for that fastest lap too. There's something to bear in mind. Pole position and fastest lap each play points.
There's Buemi up the inside of Nelson. PK coming into the hairpin at turn 5, so that's another position for the championship leader. He's now up into 10th position.
This is textbook stuff. Car by car, one at a time. None of this sort of crazy stuff yet. And it's Bruno Senna there passing PK.
And there's Simone De Silvestro going up the inside of Heidfeld. So Heidfeld dropping back a little bit. Good move from De Silvestro into the hairpin at turn 7.
Bit defensive there going into turn 8 as well. Nick's really struggling. I don't know if it's his arm or what, but obviously the Mahindras are not where they need to be yet, but he really appears to be struggling. And here goes Lucas de Grassi.
Up the inside of Robin Freinks, and that is now 5th position for the Brazilian driver Lucas de Grassi.
Him and Buemi are lockstepping up the grid, aren't they? The gap is the same, but they're just continually moving up, and some beautiful moves by both those guys.
And then we've got Mike Conway all on his own in 7th place at the moment, with a bit of a gap to Oliver Turvey behind. So Stefan Sarazan out of these guys has, well, he had used the most energy for a moment there, but in general it's pretty even. Mike Conway's in 7th place at the moment. Here comes Daniel Abt. Oh, late move up the inside against Duval. Duval just turned in and they just got away with it. They're battling over 9th position.
And the Dragon cars made substantial changes to their setup after qualifying. Because it's just not working. They changed. Bit of
PK
contact.
into Silvestro, I think.
Yeah, did we damage the wing there?
We'll have to keep an eye out on that one, but PK's dropped back massively now. And there's the look from Jean-Eric Verne up the inside of Daniel Abt. So the order changing every single moment.
And there's Buemi on the gearbox now of Daniel Abt too.
Yeah, so through the chicane they come. The chicane where Buemi crashed out of the lead last year by driving into the wall. Well, clipping the wall on the inside is probably a more polite way of saying it. I was going to say, I'm not sure he did it on purpose, Jack. So we're on lap 6 of 35. We're expecting pit stops to come around about lap 18. So we've got more of this frantic action left. Buemi still outside of the points at the moment as he gets on the brakes down towards turn 1. The man in front of him is Daniel Abt, Lucas de Grassi's teammate. He's not going to make it easy for Buemi to get through.
And the advantage that the Renault Edam's car has is not massively in top speed or acceleration. It's in packaging and the fact that the car is more nimble than it seems than the others. But he's setting up Daniel Abt right here. Look at this.
Oh, goes to the inside, and can he get that job done into turn 4? Yes, he can. I thought Abt was going to cover him.
He was trying to, I think, but a bit too late. But Buemi's just got the measure of him. And Jean-Eric Verne is next on his hit list, who will not be an easy guy to pass. We've seen that.
No,
he's doing a good job, though. These are Jean-Eric Verne's really his first laps of the weekend, the day here. And he's done a good job to actually move up through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. He was very ill, up all night with food poisoning. Missed the first 2 free practice sessions because he felt a bit squiffy, but now he seems to be doing all right. Sam Bird is doing very all right indeed. He's leading the way, 0.7 of a second clear of Nico Prost. Antonio Felix da Costa is half a second behind as they all flash through. Turvey, Verne, Buemi, Abt, Senna.
That corner is a lot tighter than you think as well. I went for a bit of a track walk and it is a lot tighter than it actually looks there. And it just shows how much these cars have come on at the speed that they're carrying through there. And the corner was tightened this year compared to last year. Look at the job Buemi's doing. It's a kind of magic. He's just absolutely doing textbook stuff here. Jean-Eric Verne is the next one, a bit harder. And as he gets progressively up the grid, it's going to get harder and harder to pass these guys because the performance is obviously there.
So Lucas de Grassi, who we're on board with here, is now on the back of Stefan Sarazan in their battle over 4th position. And de Grassi knows with Buemi carving through the field behind, he's going to have to work hard to try and make up a few places.
Listen to how much regen is going through the back of that motor there in the Schaeffler car. It's quite incredible.
Close as well to the back of Sarazan.
Very distinctive noise when he is going to regen.
Yeah, into the left-hander of turn 10, then through this incredibly quick flick. Just fantastic. Now, is there going to be an opportunity for Lucas de Grassi on the run down towards turn 1?
You just heard him change gear there just as he came out of turn 12.
Onto the brakes into 1. Nothing doing just yet, but that was so well judged from Lucas de Grassi to stay that close to the back of Stefan Sarazan. Absolutely superb stuff as he battles with Sarazan over that 4th position, flinging it through the left-hander. How close is he going to be on the run down towards turn 4? Not close enough. And these are the winners of the fan boost. Lucas de Grassi is one of the winners, as is Jean-Eric Verne. And and Lucas Di Grassi will no doubt want to use that in his second car. And Sam Bird, the race leader, also has the fan boost. Those are our 3 victors in the competition, and they will get the boost in their second car.
Sam Bird is doing a perfect job. Oh, there goes Lucas Di Grassi down the inside of Stefan Sarazan there. Another nice move.
So now Di Grassi will try and haul in Antonio Felix da Costa and Nico Prost in front of him. That's going to be the next key for Di Grassi. I
was saying there's Sam Bird leading the race. We haven't seen much of him, but he's doing a great job just controlling that gap there in about a second. And that's exactly what he needs to do here. He needs to use the minimum amount of energy, but keep that lead.
So Di Grassi up 3 positions, Duval up 4 positions, Buemi up 8 positions. But bad stuff for Piquet. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Piquet. He's still lapping, but very, very slow. 2 seconds off the pace of the race leaders.
When I looked a bit earlier, he had used a lot less energy. Well, not a lot less, but a bit less energy than the others, 57%.
Yeah, he's 1 lap down. He had a puncture on the first lap. Lapping similar pace to you, so it'll be a while before you catch him.
Well, that's Sam Bird being told that D'Ambrosio's out there in front of him, and he also probably doesn't need to be told that Prost is right behind him, and Prost has done personal bests in sectors 1 and 2.
Well, Sam can afford to let Nico Prost get close at this part of the track, because he's probably not, unless he does a lunge, going to get past him. I would start worrying about here, turn 7, and certainly turn 1, but into turn 8, he's not going to make a move. Into 4 possibly as well. You've got to pick the parts of the track that you're quick at and that you use up your energy.
Through that chicane, absolutely fantastic stuff as they come across the line to start lap 10 of 35. So we've got about 8 to go before the pit stops begin. And Sam Bird leading the way for DS Virgin. The yellow and blue car in second place is Nico Prost. Third is Antonio Felix da Costa, who, credit to him and the Aguri team, is more than holding his own. He's closer to Prost than Prost is to Bird. So really impressive stuff from the Aguri squad and the man who won here last year.
And Buemi's got 1.7 seconds to catch up to Loic Duval for his next target here to try and pass. And that's easier said than done.
Through the hairpin at turn 1. Oliver Turvey still having pressure from behind in the shape of Daniel Abt. Turvey running in 10th place in that black and blue next EV car, the yellow, green and red. Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport entry is right up behind him in 11th place. This is Daniel Abt that we're on board with Senna right up behind him. Well, not right up behind him, but pretty close.
Again, that very distinctive noise.
Yeah, that Abt car. It's great that all the cars sound a little bit different this year as well. Really, really good stuff. As Buemi is starting to close in on Loic Duval. So we've had so much action so far, and let's have a look back at where it all began, really. With Sam Bird on pole position. He got a pretty good getaway, as did Antonio Felix da Costa. No one really made a great or bad start. It was all pretty even, but Simona coming down the inside here. Watch the blue Andretti car at the back. She was all locked up, 4 wide. It was fantastic.
She saw a gap, but then from this point on, she's kind of out of control. Luckily, she found a gap to go.
5 wide.
Yeah, completely out of control, but and then she got a bit of a shunt there from the Mahindra car.
This is on board with Sebastian Buemi coming through the long left-hander. And he then is going to look to the inside, I imagine, coming down into turn 4. That's Duran, that's Senna, and that's Ambrosio that he goes past. Amazing!
But he almost lost it there on the back, locked the rears again, which is what caught him out in qualifying. But
this was the shot we saw, him barreling in here, and you're thinking, oh, he's never going to get that stopped. He's heading straight to the wall.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was pretty close.
And this was the replay of Jerome D'Ambrosio's pit stop.
Obviously the gun got hung up on the wheel nut there, so not great.
Lap 11 of 35 as they come across the line to start lap 12 of 35, and it's Sam Bird leading the way. It's Nico Prost in second place, but right behind him...
Just on target, just on target. That was a 1.52. I need you to do what you did the lap before, save a little bit more energy, and save a little bit more temperature with the lip coast.
I used to hate messages like that. Can you just go quicker and save us more fuel, please? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've just been playing around all day.
Mike Conway was saying, because this is his first race, he was saying it's really difficult to hit your target. You think you'll just do it, but you'll do the same thing one lap after another, and it'll be totally different. It's really difficult for these guys. It's such a challenge to save the energy and manage the energy like they're doing.
in all forms of racing, it's done now to a certain degree, apart from maybe WEC, but it is bloody difficult to get it there. Look how close Da Costa is. I think Da Costa's best corner is definitely the 8-9 chicane. You watch how quick he is through that and out of it, but unfortunately you're not going to pass somebody at turn 10.
But keep an eye on that yellow, red and green apt car of Lucas Di Grassi in 4th position at the moment. They've all broken about a 3.5 second gap to Stefan Sarazan in 5th, and it's now just a 4-way train for the lead of the race. We're on board, nose cam style, with Antonio Felix da Costa.
Buemi's pace is pretty strong there too, coming through the field.
Yeah, 1/10 of a second quicker on that last lap than Sam Bird.
16.68.
And he has got a couple more percent than Sam Bird in terms of usable energy remaining. Here's the look up the inside, coming down into turn 1. Antonio Felix da Costa past Nico Prost and up into 2nd place. Can he get it stopped? Yes.
Fabulous.
Absolutely. So the Aguri team over the moon with that one. And it's good news as well for Sam Bird, because that gives him a tiny bit of breathing space.
Di Grassi looked like he had hanging the front wheel off the ground there. I don't know if there's something going on with the rear suspension.
We are starting to lose regen. For your information, we are starting to lose regen. Think about the brake bias.
That's just to try and keep the same balance in the car as he goes to the brake pedal. You don't want it to suddenly change, lock up massively in the fronts, lock up massively in the rears. That's what that message is really all about.
Because the amount of energy you've got in the battery refers to how much regen you can do. So when the battery's full, you can't regen at all.
And as you said, the regen move, that target moves, and you've got to adjust manually the brake balance for that.
So here's a look at Da Costa. Very decisive move up the inside into turn 1.
Look at the car just wandering there on the brakes, catching a little bit of oversteer. Absolutely perfect. And round he goes. Caught, maybe caught Nico Prost napping just a little bit, but how much speed he carried into that hairpin and still got it stopped. Yep. Happy boys there from the Aguri team.
They have very happy memories of coming here last year. Now, everybody still is on pretty much the same amount of usable energy on the left-hand side. Di Grassi, 1% or 2 more, but that's not really a massive difference. Conway has caught up with the back of Robin Freins now in their battle over 6th position. So Conway, after a steady start, is now starting to look racy up behind the back of Robin Freins in their battle over 6th.
And we don't know what's happening with the temperatures in their cars, and that could have a bearing on what we're seeing performance-wise too. But here comes Di Grassi now catching up with Nico Prost. Nico Prost is not going to make it easy for him to pass, obviously, because his teammate Sebastian Buemi is in a championship battle.
Through the left-hander comes Lucas Di Grassi. That is turn 6, and then they head back out towards the tight left-hander at turn 7. Bird turns in. That dragon car in the middle is Jerome D'Ambrosio, who's a lap down. Calculations non-stop in the Renault garage. Di Grassi is now right on the back of Nico Prost. Now, what is Nico Prost going to do? How helpful will he be to his teammate here?
To his teammate, I'm sure he's going to be very helpful. To Lucas Di Grassi, he's probably not a big moment there for Nico Prost through that fast chicane. Doesn't seem to have cost him any time, but he had a big old oversteer right in the middle of the 11-12 chicane.
Lap 15 of 35 now, so maybe only 3 laps to go before we start to see the pit stops begin. And this is Mike Conway having a go around the outside of Robin Freins. Freins covering the inside line. This is bad news for Sebastian Buemi, because he's going to get held up by these two. So it's Freins, Conway and Buemi in this queue for 6th, 7th and 8th.
Watch Buemi into turn 4 here. He's setting him up. This has been his favourite move all day, setting him up through 3 and doing the move into 4. Yet again, look at that. I mean, it's just... He's absolutely on a mission today. Yeah,
absolutely. Will he go for Freins into the hairpin at 5? No, not quite.
Too much risk. He knows what works for him. He may ever go into 4 to 7. If not, we'll see him into turn 1. But he's so quick through that 3 braking for 4 section. He's clearly found something that works there for him. Look at that DS Virgin car, the amount of oversteer and the pendulum of that oversteer because of the weight back there. As we've said all day, Sam Bird has driven the wheels off that car, and the DS Virgin guys have done a great job in making progress throughout the season, because the first race they were up against it.
1.57. I need you to save 0.05 to 0.1 of energy for a couple of laps. Your temperature is getting better.
Okay, so they're starting to cool down Sam Bird's car. What's going on here? This is Freins covering the inside line. He's got nothing he can do. Buemi just goes past. So that's Sebastian Buemi up into 5th spot now. 6th spot, sorry.
And look how little wing the Amlin Andretti car had on there, and the Renault Edam's car had a bit more downforce, but just with the modern technology, sailed on past him.
Jean-Eric Verne in 14th place at the moment. they swing through the right-hander. So Salvador Duran's come into the pits. Bruno Senna's got about 9% energy remaining, so he may be in before too long. These guys are probably on their penultimate. Well, actually, they might get 2 more out of it because it's quite a short lap.
Bruno's struggled today with saving energy. From the first lap, he's been kind of up against it energy-wise.
So across the line, they come again.
0.05.
So that's Sam Bird giving the readings back to the engineers, who will then calculate how much more
Okay, Sam, that was a
it's got to go.
1.57. We are 0.1 on the wrong side. We are 0.1 on the wrong side. You need to save 0.1 this lap, please, to get back on track. You're a second in front of Da Costa.
Second?
Yeah,
maybe at the start-finish line, or the finish line he was, but he wasn't there.
No, well, he's probably started saving the energy. So
engineers lie to you.
Really?
They really do. Yeah, you're fine. Clearly you're not.
So Sam Bird being told he's just on the wrong side of the energy he needs to have.
And by saving that energy, locking up there from the Mahindra, Bruno Senna. By saving that extra energy there, he's making himself very vulnerable to an attack from Antonio Felix da Costa.
Absolutely.
The ebb and flow, though, when they are trying to save energy, you see bigger time gaps, the compression of time gaps, but also them pulling out a bigger time gap in a smaller space of time.
So I think these guys are going to be about to start their final lap before their pit stops. We're on board with Lucas Di Grassi.
Nothing he can do there about Nico Prost.
No, not at the moment anyway. As he comes through the right-hander, he has got the fastest lap of the race so far, Lucas Di Grassi. So despite Buemi's impressive pace, Di Grassi's not exactly a slouch.
No, absolutely not. Front wing on the Dragon's
damage,
broken. Yeah.
But that's still Jerome D'Ambrosio. I think that might have been broken all the time.
I think they're breaking them on the bollard at the chicane, turn 8-9 chicane. We've seen them hitting that bollard every lap.
So Mike Conway has come into the pits, I think. He's one of the first drivers to come in from 8th position. And that's why you can see him dropping down the order on the tower on the left-hand side. And it's Antonio Felix da Costa. Antonio Felix da Costa has come to a stop. And he's run into problems. Hopefully he can get going again, but that is such a shame for the Portuguese racer, just like in Putrajaya.
What has happened?
Only thing you can do is slowly go to P0, then P1, P2.
All you can do is flick around with the settings.
Try and make something happen. What a shame. These guys want to pit now in case there is, a safety car.
I don't think they've got much choice here. Nico Prost has only got 1% of energy remaining, so this is going to be a close one for Prost.
He's going to be cruising.
I tried it 10 times, master off, everything off, it's still here. It's not going to go.
Onto the brakes they come, and this is going to be very, very interesting now.
Prost made it just. I think he's close enough.
Yeah, just about. I think
that's incredible.
Di Grassi's giving him a bit of a hurry up here.
He might have run out of energy completely. He should still have a little bit, but he's just hitting him. Surely he wouldn't slow him down for his teammate to allow him.
No, Dario.
I wouldn't do such a thing. I'm just suggesting he might. I don't know.
So in the pits they come. 57 seconds is the minimum pit stop time. And there is the Renault Edams team waiting for Nico Prost and Sebastian Buemi to come in together. And I think you're right. Yeah, Prost might have a problem because he held up Buemi there. So Prost is going to plummet back through the order. And will that affect Di Grassi? I just thought maybe it was a 1 km/h difference in your
or a team tactic thing, but clearly he wouldn't affect his teammates. So Buemi might gain out of this by a bit of luck, really. So
here comes Sam Bird. He is going to exit in the lead of the race. Then it's going to be Lucas Di Grassi in second place. They're still strapping Nico Prost in. Away goes Sebastian Buemi. No, he has to wait. Out in third place then. Is that going to be Mike Conway out in third? Well, we'll keep an eye out on that one. It looked to me as though it was a Venturi car with Sarrazin going through into third place. So Bird leads, Di Grassi second. Third place coming down towards us now, yes, is Stefan Sarrazin. Fourth is Sebastian Buemi. Fifth is Nico Prost. Sixth is Conway. And seventh is Robin Fraintz. Nelson Piquet, you can see here on the left-hand side, he hasn't pitted. He's done the classic Piquet of staying out a lap longer than everyone else. But, well, yeah, maybe Nico Prost had to cruise so he didn't overuse the amount of energy he was allowed.
Sounds like it. Just looking at the pit stop times here.
Everyone,
because Di Grassi was, made up a lot of time there, especially as he got held up.
Oh, there's Da Costa's car. He's out of the car.
So you should be brake 5 and paddle 6.
Oh, has Prost gone off?
Yep, down the escape road.
Yep, and that's at turn 4. So Nico Prost now has made a mistake as well, and it's just not going for him this season, is it? Just not working out for the Frenchman.
26.33.
Here's a look at the replay. That's Buemi going through, and then
just couldn't stop it.
whoa, and he's hit the wall.
Yeah, just with the nose, he'll be fine. And the end of the nose now, it turns out. But yeah, it's just not going his way. But now Sam Bird's going to feel the pressure, because I know the gap is bigger, but it's Lucas de Grassi behind him, and his pace. Oh, here we go, Sebastian Buemi
On Stefan Sarazan, down into turn one, not quite close enough this time around.
Turn four, what's the bets? What's the bets is going to set him up? Just watch how he does it here. Great through there, wide open, flat out, and he just seems to gain momentum here. He's in the toe, and he's just going to pull out.
And safety car deployed, and will Buemi make the move? He's going to have to back off of that one, surely.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to go side by side. There was no way he was ahead.
No, and I think he realises that. Go, he's saying, go, come on.
Yeah.
Because if PK, what's going to happen now with PK? I guess.
Interesting. He was in the pits.
Yeah, he was in the pits. So will he gain an advantage here?
No, he's down to 14th already,
Yeah,
PK.
no.
So, but that is going to bunch everyone up, and it is a safety car, not a full course yellow, because the car it's for De Costa's car, I presume.
Yes.
And they probably just waited till the pit stop windows were done.
50 à l'heure là, c'est pas maintenant.
I think that means hurry up. Listen to how out of breath he is, how stressed he is in his voice there with Sebastian Buemi.
Absolutely. So
C'est 50 à l'heure derrière le.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying go, go, go. He's going
C'est 50 à l'heure
50.
en full course yellow.
And what's happening here is Sarazan is trying to save as much energy as possible. He wants to maybe give him a little nudge.
Yeah, unless Sarazan thinks it's full course yellow.
Yeah.
And because I think he's saying 50, which is 50.
Yeah,
and
come
so
on.
I think
Faut aller leur dire à son team manager, faut aller lui dire 50 à l'heure, c'est derrière le red flag ou le full course yellow, pas derrière safety car.
Go talk to the team manager.
saying you only do 50 clicks if it's full course yellow or a red flag. And they're 20 seconds behind now.
Come on. Yeah, this is not good. And the race director will not be happy. It's going to take longer to get them packed up. It's longer until they can send the tow truck out. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, no, didn't understand what was going on.
So, and this is full credit to Oli Grodowski, because that car of De Costa's, it's in a dangerous position, but it's not in. It's on the inside. You're never going to be there on the racetrack, so he's let it go until the pit stop window is done, because last year, if you remember, we had a safety car come out during the pit stop window. Everything went into the air and it was absolute carnage.
All right, let's see if we can try and talk to Sam Bird here, leading the race under full course caution. Sam, it's Dario in the commentary booth. Can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear, Dario.
So far, so good. How's the car feeling?
Feels a bit loose. As you're seeing in qualifying and in free practice, same balance, but we're hanging on in there. We got a quickie behind us now, so let's see what we can do. Aiming to win.
Good man. Maximum attack. Thank you, Sam.
Of course, it's maximum.
Of course it's maximum, says Sam Bird. So that's our race leader, but he's got Lucas de Grassi up behind him, which is going to be tough. The reason this is a safety car, not a full course yellow, is because marshals had to go onto the track to remove that car. If it was just a bit of debris or something like that, they can crane a car out, but if marshals are going on the track, that's when you do a full course yellow. But I mean,
he deserves better today. He
want to
really
give him a
does.
hug.
Not Robin
I always do, but
Robin
especially now.
I have to say, Sam Bird, we said it this morning, first practice, 8:10. He had his Weetabix. He definitely had his Weetabix, and Sam has driven really a great weekend so far. But it's going to get interesting now with Lucas de Grassi, Stefan Sarazan, Sebastian Buemi behind him. And now we've got safety car in this lap, so here we go.
So hopefully we are going to be getting going again soon. Hopefully also we'll hear from Antonio Felix da Costa if he wants to talk to
Okay,
us.
Sam, have a think about the restart. You know where safety car line 1 is, and you know you're going to have to let the safety car get away from you a little bit, so you don't pass him before you restart.
Copy. How are we on energy? How are we on energy?
Yeah, we're good on energy. You could use more than 1.75 per lap to the end of the race, so we're good on energy. Remember, you do have a fan boost.
Absolutely critical for him there. He might use it at the restart here.
Yeah,
because of the safety car and the timing of it, saving energy is not as critical now.
Degrassi's got a fan boost.
I was about to say. Good point, well made, sir.
So he has to use it because I'm sure Degrassi's going to be using it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
this is a point where they're starting to warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes now, getting the gap to the safety car and getting ready for this restart.
Our French interpreter Nina confirms that that was why Buemi was incensed, and the team came back to him and said, "Don't worry, Seb, the safety car is waiting for you."
Coming in this lap, the race is restarting. Confirm.
Frustration for Antonio Felix da Costa. But now here they go then, and has Sam Bird gone already coming through turn 7? I think he has.
He's
so
going.
Wow. So Sam Bird has gone for it down into turn 7.
Decent gap there already.
Really spread everyone out. I don't think Degrassi or anyone was expecting him to go quite that early. So Sam Bird catches the field napping and restarts the race.
He wants this one, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
He wants this win.
22 laps down, 13 to go. That's Sebastian Buemi, the championship leader. He's come from 18th on the grid. He's now up into 4th position, and he's right up behind Stefan Sarazan, out onto the start grid, and he's going to pull alongside and pass Sarazan down into turn 1. Gets on the brakes. Buemi is through. The next man in front of him, championship rival Lucas Degrassi.
Nothing Sarazan could have done there. Let's see how quickly he closes this gap to Degrassi. And then if he gets past Lucas, can he get after Sam Bird? It's all setting up here. 12 laps to go for a heck of a finish.
Absolutely. So, the green flag's waving all around the circuit. Degrassi is going to be pushing Bird as well. And as, it's a bizarre thing to say, but as Sam Bird just told us, the car's a little bit loose, and as it has been since the start of the season.
I was going to say, he should be used to it, but it's a handful. It's definitely a harder thing to drive with the twin motors of the DS Virgin car. The weight's further back, it makes it hard work, and you can see him when he really starts to push. It oversteers a bit more than certainly the Abt car or the Renault Edams car.
Robin Franks has lost out to Nico Prost, so Nico Prost is up into 6th. Franks has dropped down to 7th. That's the only change of order, apart from obviously Buemi going past Sarazan, that we've had in this opening lap. Bird, Degrassi, Buemi, Sarazan, Conway, Prost, Franks.
Okay, we are monitoring battery temperature. We will give you an info. Currently, keep doing what you're doing.
So that's Lucas Degrassi's team radio saying that they're monitoring the temperature. And it looks to me as though he's closed in a little bit.
He has a bit, absolutely.
Did the fastest lap of the race on that last tour, 1 minute 11.8, 2/10 quicker than Bird.
He wants those points, doesn't he? He wants every single point. And Buemi said it himself in the pre-race interview. Every point counts.
They've both got fan boost as well, so that could be crucial in both attack and defence. Up to the right-hander at turn 5. Lap 24 of 35, 12 to go.
You saw Lucas Degrassi had to take his hand off the wheel there to get the full lock required for that turn 5 hairpin.
Sebastian Buemi is the quickest man on the circuit so far on this lap. Well, in fact, he's lapping pretty similar to Lucas Degrassi. Both of them closing in on Sam Bird, who at the moment, though, has 2% more usable energy on the left-hand side than Sebastian Buemi. Look at the back end stepping out.
It stepped out as soon as he turned into that turn 8-9 chicane, and then he fought the pendulum effect of the rear end both directions.
He's driving the car. Well, by the looks of it, you have to drive the car from the rear. That's how you turn it in.
He's got no option, so he's just making the most of it. And him adapting like that is really first class.
Lucas, please give me your dashboard target.
Lucas is closing in again.
Lucas isn't answering either. So, we've lost Mike Conway down to 15th place. So that's a real shame for Mike Conway. This is on board with, that's what happened.
Yeah, he just lost the back there. He's getting overtaken. Turn 4, just lost the back.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, bad stuff for Mike Conway. He drops well down the order now to 15th place as Bird arrives sideways. It's like watching Tom Price or something, isn't it? Sliding his way around.
I wonder if he's ever considered rally driving.
So, this is Oliver Turvey. He's running in 10th place. He's got Daniel Abt right up behind him in the Abt car. Nico Prost is under investigation, we believe.
That'll be the pit lane. It's going slow in the pit lane. There's obviously a minimum speed in the pit lane too.
Yeah, they have a minimum and a maximum speed. I think you have to be between 45 and 50 kilometers an hour.
The more laps are going on, the more sideways. The more sideways that DS Virgin car is getting, and that's you can just sort of hear the Jaws music here as Lucas Degrassi is just sitting there waiting to set him up.
Down they come towards turn 1. This is the forward view from Degrassi, the backwards view from Bird. it up nicely.
18.94. 18.94.
He's starting to, but you can hear a bit of stress now in Bird's voice. Should we talk to him now?
Yeah, no.
Copy that, Sam. You're absolutely fine on energy. Absolutely
This is the
fine.
worrying
Remember,
bit
you've still got
right
your
here.
fan boost if you need it.
So you're fine on energy, you've got fan boost if you need it, is the message to Sam Bird. And Lucas Di Grassi is right behind him, and closing in on the pair of them is Sebastian Buemi, the race leader.
Here we go. Buemi caught up a 10 on Di Grassi, 2 tenths on Sam Bird in the first sector
Sam,
alone
you
there.
need to use your fan boost now. You have to be over 50% soft to use it. Use it on the next main straight.
Okay, so that's the suggestion from the team, because you have to use it if you have more than 50%.
Into turn 1, or out of turn 12 into 1, I would say would be the time I'd be pushing that button.
17.21.
All three of them now absolutely together, separated by just 1.2 seconds, the top three in round 4 of the Formula E Championship.
Here we go. He's going to hit it.
So Bird is going to use his fan boost now on the back straight, is the theory.
Into 4.
Oh yeah, actually that's true. Maybe down into turn 4,
Yeah.
because that's where Di Grassi has looked strong.
And where Buemi's looked very strong. We're setting up a good finish to this one. We couldn't ask for any more.
And
There we
Vern
go.
is using his
Vern's
fan
on
boost.
his one, yep.
They swing through the left-hander at turn 3. Will Bird use it now on this little stretch down to 4?
Now, the reason they come over there is to get a straight line on braking, because the track turns in a little bit to the right on braking for 4. That's why they keep moving out like that.
Look at Bird, Di Grassi, Buemi.
Look at the momentum they can carry. The really quick guys are carrying it into the corner. That is them mastering this lift coast.
Sam, go
Carrying
paddle
momentum.
3, paddle 3. We want to keep the temperature down a little bit.
Okay, so they're starting to monitor the battery temperature for Sam Bird. Behind them, it's Sarazan, Prost, Fraints, Duval, Senna,
Still follow
Heidfeld,
the
Turvey.
lights. Still follow the lights.
Goodness me, watching the
15.5.
watching the three of them together just wheeling around over the chicane. It's fantastic to see the cars moving around so much.
Copy that.
8 laps to
You're good on
go.
energy, Sam. You're good on energy.
That music to his ears. You're good on energy.
Yeah, but now Buemi
Use your
is
fan
closing
boost
in
if
on
you
Di
haven't already
Grassi.
used it.
Yeah, he hasn't used it yet. He's obviously bit of a. See that wiggle there? Just locking up the rears.
Di Grassi's got fan boost as well, and Bird runs a little bit wide into 1. Is this the opportunity for Lucas Di Grassi?
He's
Through the
setting him up.
flat-out left-hander.
Here he comes.
Down
Is he
towards
close
turn
enough?
4.
Nope.
I don't think he quite is. Bird's going to cover the inside line. Di Grassi sticks with it. Stays.
Sam's starting to defend. Problem with that is that's bringing Sebastian Buemi right into play here.
As soon as you start to defend, you start to offset your line for the following corners.
All right, if you're Sam Bird, who do you want behind you? Di Grassi or Buemi?
Di Grassi, because then Buemi's going to try and fight him as they come down towards 7. Di Grassi covers the inside line, the two championship battlers. Buemi sells in the dummy. Di Grassi tries to squeeze him, but Buemi goes through into second place. Sebastian Buemi up into second position. Frustration for Di Grassi as he drops down to 3rd position. Tried to cover the inside line, but he gave Buemi enough room.
He gave him a gap. He sort of half covered it and gave him the gap. It was done in the corner before, but his exit wasn't good enough.
Jerome D'Ambrosio has set the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1 minute 10.4.
You say Di Grassi fan boost did not work. And if I'm Sam Bird, I've just looked in the mirror, I've seen that blue and yellow Edam's Renault car and gone, oh no.
But he's 1.2 seconds further back, so that's going to be the challenge. Of course, the fan boost is programmed in by the teams. And
Were you on map 4?
Correct.
Unless he had less than 50% energy remaining at the time, because now he's got 43%, so a lap ago he would have had less than 50%. That's why the fan boost didn't work.
Or was that only Sam Bird? You just don't know if each car's got how they're set up.
No, I think that is how the fan boost works.
It's an odd one, isn't it?
Up to the chicane. Sam Bird continuing to lead. Sebastian Buemi pushing hard. What a win this would be for Buemi. Okay, he gained some 8 to 10 seconds because of the safety car, but nevertheless, it's been superb as they throw it through 11. 6 to go.
I want to drive that corner.
Yeah. I want to drive a racing car.
Should we go nick a couple after the race?
Down to turn 1 then. On Sam Bird. Now if Bird and Buemi start fighting, Di Grassi will be back in the fight, I think. I don't think Di Grassi It doesn't appear like he can really match Buemi in a straight fight like this, and he's used more energy than the pair of them in front. But if they start squabbling, he may well decide to try and stick his nose in there somewhere.
You know, Sam Bird at this point, he will see a replay. Look, he's got such a good run. Great
And
run.
you think Degrassi's got it covered?
Nah, but he hasn't. He's moved over. If you're going to do that, you need to be all the way where Buemi is and force. You need to force Buemi into that first lane, and he just didn't do it. He just left that gap, and Buemi's going to take it. Sam Bird has got nothing to lose in this championship right now.
Okay, c'est bon, on enlève la palette. On enlève la palette.
Buemi and Degrassi absolutely do.
So we've got Buemi and Bird's team radio up
18-46.
as they both give their readings as they come across the line.
That's Sam, that's perfect, absolutely perfect.
Buemi only
no
took
problem on energy, and we're good on temperature. You have 5 laps to go, 5 laps.
Buemi only took about half a tenth of a second out of Bird on that previous lap, and he's 9/10 of a second behind.
Oversteer by Sam Bird there, and he's
got away with it. Bird's also got slightly more usable energy.
The problem you're going to have is every time you slide the rear like that, it brings the heat of the tyre up and exacerbates the problem. A little bit more speed, they just told Sam. Easy for you to say. So much easier from the booth or the timing stand, absolutely. These guys are giving it everything here.
5 laps to go here in Buenos Aires, round 4 of the FIA Formula E Championship. After this, in 5 weeks' time, we go to Mexico City for the first time. But all eyes are on the capital of Argentina right now, and they're on Sam Bird. On to turn 7. Sebastian Buemi started at the back of the grid after messing up in qualifying. But now he is right with the Englishman. Across the line they come. 4 to go. 6 miles left in this Formula E race. Sam Bird is leading.
That's perfect. Plenty of energy. You've got 4 laps remaining. 4 laps remaining.
Buemi's just starting to creep closer now. Cheers.
The gap down to 6/10.
This will be him building that momentum we've talked about before, just getting ready to set up to try and make that pass.
Bird always a bit wider on the exit of 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, the DS Virgin car does not put the power down nearly as well. Look, here we go, he's setting up.
Through turn 3. Big slide from Buemi, but he keeps it together. Bird covers the inside line. And there's nothing Buemi can do.
Very sensible by Buemi there, just backed out, saw it wasn't going to happen, but he knows he's got the pace. To pass him in turn 4, he's building up to that pass in turn 12. He's starting to get the run out of 12, getting close into 1, and then nailing the pass in 4. That's what he's done all day. This is going to be one of the harder nuts to crack though, but this DS Virgin car is getting more and more leery and oversteery and slidey by the lap.
Absolutely. So this is soon, I think, going to bring Lucas Degrassi back into play. Onto the brakes, into the chicane for Sam Bird.
Look how much wider Sam is.
6.64.
Much tidier Sebastian Buemi is.
We're good on energy.
He's
Good
clipping every single apex so close to the wall every time.
Here we go.
3 laps remaining.
This is where he's going to start
You heard it
building.
there. 3 laps to go. Buemi looks to the inside. He's not close enough, but that's not what it's about. It's about setting it up for 4.
57 degrés de batterie, 5 clics sur l'arrière.
But he nailed the apex, or Sam Bird nailed it. You heard Buemi say earlier on the track guide, there's a lot of grip on the curb.
Okay, Sam, using the same lights, you're going to lift coast only, no paddle. Lift coast only, no paddle. That'll give you a little bit more.
How do you do this with all this going on in your ear? Of course, we've got both Bird and Buemi's radio open here. That's why you're hearing English and
But
French.
you also use 2 different parts of your brain. A good driver will use one part of his brain just to drive the car, and it'll be just a natural thing that's going on. And then he'll be using another part to do all the calculations, listen to what the person's telling him in his ear, and adjusting accordingly.
We're about to start the penultimate lap
Here we
of
go.
round 4 of the FIA Formula E Championship. All eyes glued to the screen.
How oversteering was that?
Unbelievable.
Who's your money on, Jack?
No.
No, me neither. Look at the
Third tour
oversteer.
to go.
Look at it. Oh, did he touch
goodness
the wall?
me. That was so close to the wall,
Sam,
Bird.
if you want to keep the power on, Buemi attack, do that.
I
Here
think
comes
that was the
Buemi.
wall.
If Buemi attacks.
Down to turn 1.
Oh, too early in the turn. Oh, he got to the apex nicely though. But now he's
Again,
going to
that
set it now.
compromises him.
Oh, Buemi's going to make a move here, I'm telling you. Into 4, Buemi's got it. Look at them getting closer and closer. Here he comes.
Nose to tail through turn 3. Sam Bird surely will cover the inside line. Buemi looks to the outside, then tries to get to the inside, but Bird drives in the middle of the road, locks up, gets it stopped just about. Now will Buemi attack? Going into the hairpin. Thinks about it. Bird covers it off. But as soon as he keeps doing all this defending, it's going to compromise him. Got away with that at the hairpin, actually.
He did a good job there, but Degrassi is no longer in play. I mean, he's 3.1 seconds back from Sam Bird, but Sam's just got to try and hang on, and you saw how hard he defended there. Nothing to lose. He's led every lap of this race.
Absolutely.
You know, and Buemi's come from last, from last place, and you see him here challenging for the win.
The final lap of the race.
2.69.
What can Buemi do? Because Bird will just defend
Copy
it.
that, Sam. You are absolutely fine on energy. We're getting a bit close on temperature. This is the last lap. I repeat, this is the last lap.
The final lap of the race. Sam Bird leads for DS Virgin. Second is Sebastian Buemi. He's going to show his nose at every possible corner. Bird wrestling the car under braking.
Absolutely on the limit of adhesion there. And Sam's got a good gap here in the floor. He's got a good gap. Either of these guys would be a really worthy winner today. They've both driven fantastic races. Sam's got a decent gap. No, he's pulling away.
Yeah, Sam Bird appears to have got this one under control.
4% power.
Buemi's only got 4% of usable energy remaining. Lucas Degrassi's dropped 4 seconds back from these guys because he's had to back off as well.
Buemi's catching
really
him.
low.
Look at him how he's caught him just in those 2 corners. Sam's got to keep on it here. He's got 5%. He's got 3 corners to go.
Down towards turn 7.
This is
Sam
his last
Bird
chance.
leads. Buemi is not going to be close enough, so all Bird has to do is make it through the final chicane. The chicane where Buemi crashed out of the lead last time through. Bird into the right-hander, makes it stick, and takes victory in Argentina.
Come on!
What a drive by both those guys there.
Buemi finishes in 2nd place. It's 3rd across the line for Degrassi. 4th is Stefan Sarazan for DS Virgin.
You legend, you absolute legend. That was a brilliant, brilliant drive. So controlled, fantastic. It's going nuts here. It's going nuts.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that was
absolutely fantastic. Bloody well done. Excellent.
We should race here every week.
Radio. It's fantastic, isn't it? Degrassi hit 0%, but that was after the line, so he's all right. But look at the team celebrating in there. And there is Sam Bird. What a performance from him. 4th for Sarazan, 5th for Prost, 6th for Duval. Oh, wow. And again, what a race.
Yeah, let's try and get a hold of Sam Bird here.
Dario's just got to figure out this matrix.
Bloody hell is going on. Mate, that was one of the hardest wins ever. You did absolutely brilliantly. I mean it, mate. Brilliantly.
A standing ovation.
Cheers, boys. That was tough. But we did it. We did it. Well done. Well done to everybody. We were perfect this weekend. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Sam, it's Dario here. Congratulations. Brilliant drive. How does that one feel?
Didn't Felipe Massa say I'm getting too old for this when he came up behind me? That was tough. But we did it, Dario. We did it. So very happy. Great for DS. Great for DS to get their first points. So really tough.
Congratulations. Whatever you had for breakfast this morning, I'd keep eating that if I were you. Brilliant job. Well done.
Cheers, guys.
Well, whatever Sam had for breakfast, it was better than what Jeff had for breakfast because he came down with food poisoning. But the opposite is true of Sam Bird. And the delight for... So Virgin won races last year with Sam Bird, but this is the first win for DS, the arm of Citroën, who have taken their first Formula E victory. That's why it's so important for them. And also, I mean, that was pressure. That was pressure.
From the first lap to the last lap there, that was pressure. And we know the car's a handful. We know they haven't got it perfect yet, but it won the race today. The combination of the DS Virgin car, the team, and Sam Bird, it was unbeatable. And Buemi, what a drive with the Renault Edams car from last to first.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, Sebastian can sometimes get a bit hot under the collar. That was perfection today. One car at a time, and almost nailed it. Almost got the last to first.
Sam Bird stands atop his DS Virgin car and wins for the first time for the DS Virgin team from pole position. Lights to flag, but nowhere near that simple. Absolute elation for him. We'll be talking to him with Nicky in a couple of moments' time, no doubt. And he'll just go and get weighed. But I don't want to criticise DS Virgin. because, you know, they've obviously made a great car and everything, but Bird's job was even more impressive because of how that car handles.
But it's a team effort. That's the thing. They've made changes to that car that has made it to this point where it can, in Sam's hands, win a race. You know, that's the thing. It's not one or the other, and you can never look like that as a driver or a team person. It's a combination, and you've got to take your hat off to Sam. You've got to take your hat off to every single person in the DS Virgin team. They were determined today. He was determined from the first lap. You saw it. Look at that. Look what it means to those guys.
Legend! That was the best. That was brilliant. You're right. Yeah, that was brilliant. Oh, God.
That's the race engineer we heard on the radio the whole way through.
Oh, fantastic. Mate, that was tough. That was the best. Who's that? Oh my God. That was... Underdog. You should have seen it there. It went completely nuts.
I think he likes being the underdog.
Yeah, yeah. So, delight for Buemi, because, I mean, to come from 18th to 2nd, he extends his championship advantage over Lucas de Grassi by 3 points by taking that second place to de Grassi's third. So it's now 4 points, the gap between them at the top of the championship. And Buemi wanting to have a chat with Sarrazin. A little well done all around. A 4th place for Stefan Sarrazin. So now let's hear from Sam Bird, our race winner, talking to Nikki Shields.
Sam, I mean, wow, what a performance. I mean, how much pressure were you under for that race? How relieved do you feel now?
I'm quite happy that that's over. I'm really happy that it's over. When he said last lap and I pulled a little bit of a gap to Seb, I was saving and saving and saving in the second car so that the last lap I could have a bit of a gap. But then I made a couple of mistakes on the last lap. We were really struggling to slow the car down, and Seb exploited that really well. But yeah, what a race, what a race.
How good does it feel to win the first race for DS Virgin?
Feels amazing. Everybody in the team has worked really hard. The DS boys have come in, they've integrated really well with the Virgin boys that were already there, and we win in our 4th outing, so really good. I mean, there's a long way to go in the championship. There's some great guys around me, but it's a nice beginning part to the year.
The team was very elated when we saw you go through the finish line. What's going to be the focus now going forward on the car to maintain these results?
Nikki, I'm not sure. I mean, it's difficult. Everything's homologated. We can just fine-tune. We learnt a lot in Punta del Este. If we continue to learn, once we get the data back from here, if there's anything else extra, obviously we'll add it. But it's very difficult at this stage to sort of improve drastically.
Well, it was an absolutely phenomenal performance. Well done.
You know, what I like about Sam, he takes this seriously. You can tell him it hurts him when he's not going well. You know, he's probably not an easy person to be around in the team when it's not going well. He takes it seriously. This is his life, and results like that, I'm sure, make it all worthwhile, and it's good to see.
Absolutely, absolutely right. I was going to make some gag about you not being an easy person to be around, but
well, that's for sure.
You're all right. Let's hear now from Sebastian Buemi, 2nd place. What a drive.
Seb, another outstanding drive, you know, from 18th to 2nd. Did you ever think that was possible?
I was hoping for, but to be honest, no. I've been a bit lucky, I would say. At the start, I went on the inside in turn 4, and honestly, I was more than lucky not to crash into someone. So, no, great driving, and then obviously the safety car helped a lot. Towards the end, it was very difficult because the battery overheated for everyone, so we basically struggled to slow down the car. The regen did not work, so all of a sudden you were locking the front wheels, you had to adapt, and Sam did a fantastic job, you know, to keep me behind.
Well, you definitely kept the pressure on him, and it kept us entertained for those last few laps. Yeah,
I mean, I would have wished to win, but at the end of the day, you know, I made already a mistake today, so I have to make sure I get the most out of the car and out of the team, and at least we go away with good points, and 3 more than Lucas.
Now, during the safety car, I mean, what happened? There looked like there was a bit of a confusion, and you were trying to signal to Stefan Sarrazin.
Yeah, basically, there is a 50 kph limit when you are on the red flag or with the full course yellow, but not behind the safety car. Obviously, the safety car means everyone needs to bunch up, and he was driving 50 kph, so we were not catching back, you know. So I was trying to make him understand that he had to, you know, release the pit limiter.
Now, we also know that you're expecting your very first baby anytime soon. Did that help encourage you to get to the end of this race?
Oh, I was not thinking about that, to be honest. I think my wife would not be happy if she would hear that. But no, you know, when you drive, you push, and hopefully I'll make it on time, you know, to go back before, you know, it arrives.
Well, congratulations, and we wish you all the best to your family.
Sebastian Buemi there, second place from 18th on the grid. He's finished on the podium from the back of the grid before. Malaysia last year was a superb drive, but I mean this was something else. Really good stuff from Buemi, but couldn't quite get the victory. The crowds are gathering at the podium, but first let's hear from our third place driver, Lucas de Grassi. Dropped well back at the end. Let's see what he has to say. He's with Nicky Shields.
Well, Lucas, it's your fourth race this season and fourth podium. Well done.
Thanks. It was a great race. The safety car really got us unlucky with Seb, but then I knew I had the opportunity. I had the way to go and try to overtake Sam at that moment of the race. I gave everything I had, including using the fan boost. Thanks for everyone that voted on me. But then I lost momentum and Seb made the move. But yeah, it was a good race. Still there in the championship. So yeah, anything I can hope for.
We hear that there might be something to do with that you're under investigation for an issue with Nico Prost. Can you tell us any more about that?
Yeah, Nico was on the pit lane. He had a problem. He was slowing down, and then you have to respect a certain speed on the pit lane, and he didn't. And then I touched him a little bit, but that was it. But then everything was fine after.
Well, thanks very much and well done for a great race.
Very, very good.
So congratulations all around. Sebastian Buemi is under investigation as well. It's Prost, Buemi and de Grassi who are under investigation. So now Benoit Dupont is escorting them away from the team down towards the podium. So Dario, driver of the day.
A tough one this. Either of the first two guys were massively deserving of it, but I'm going to give it to Sam Bird. That was under tremendous pressure with a car that was pretty oversteery. He got the job done.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. Here's a look at the results after 35 laps of racing. Sam Bird, the winner, 0.7 of a second quicker than Sebastian Buemi, or ahead of Sebastian Buemi at the end, I should say. Lucas de Grassi completing the podium. Stefan Sarrazin leads the trio of Frenchmen in 4th, 5th and 6th. Prost and Duval. Heidfeld, Freins, Turvey and Senna completing the top 10. Freins dropping back in the last laps. Good drive from Heidfeld actually to get up into 7th place. Jean-Eric Verne finishing in 11th spot, then Piquet in 12th. He inexplicably dropped back in the early stages. Daniel Abt 13th, Simone de Silvestro 14th. A spin for Mike Conway saw him drop back down the order, which was a shame because he was looking pretty strong in his first run. And Jerome D'Ambrosio 16th. We lost Da Costa and Duran. So here's the championship. 4 points clear now, the gap between Buemi and de Grassi, but Sam Bird has closed in on the top two. So now starting to look like a kind of three-horse race if Bird can keep it going. Then it's the two Dragon dudes in 4th and 5th position, Alex Duval and Jerome D'Ambrosio. And then no real change further back down in the order. Bruno Senna still on 11 points, Turvey Abt, Verne, Piquet, Berton. This is the team's championship. Renault, Edams on 101 points now. They've pulled clear of Abt, Schaeffler, Audi Sport, thanks to Prost finishing in 5th place and Daniel Abt not scoring any points. So that's how the margin is extended there. Dragon Racing and DS Virgin now separated by just 4 points in their battle over 3rd place in the championship. But again, this is only round 4 of 11.